Alright, let's see what fun YouTube comments I have waiting for me today.
Hey floaty boy, why your jump so floaty?
Floaty? My game... Floaty? Floaty. I mean, maybe it's a little bit floaty. Floaty. After all this time, how did I not see it? I'll show you floaty. You see, the gravity applied to the falling phase of the jump was nowhere near strong enough. And it came from the fact that both up and down states are using the same gravity value, where really the down state should have had its own unique calculation. The weight of a character should also match the general proportions and form factor, where a heavier character should also fall heavier. In the case of Olaf the Viking here, he enjoys a life of excess and has a bit of extra meat on the flanks, so having a slightly heavier fall weight kinda works. But if he was, say, a robot Viking or something, then the fall weight would have to be much heavier. Robot Viking? Of course. Saved me again. Ow. Alright, it's time for some playtesting. No, you just need to... No, you need to hold... You're playing it all wrong. Of course, I had another issue to contend with. The variable jump system I created did not have a well-defined minimum jump height, which allows players to spam the jump button repeatedly. I needed to do some research, and since Blood and Mead is inspired by so many of my favourite retro childhood classics, I thought what better place to start than back in the 80s. Super Mario Bros., the creme de la creme of the jump. Look at that jump range. Very nice. Oh, and fun fact, Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario, admitted to nearly calling Mario Mr. Video. Can you imagine? Very narrow jump range here by comparison. The minimum jump and the maximum jump is so narrow, that range, that there's almost no point even having a variable jump. I can't see how it would even make a difference in this level flow. Okay, we'll get a lot of hang time here. Look at the weight! The jump isn't variable, but the weight feels so good. I mean, what is this jump? Who made this? This is outrageous. Mattel. Of course. This is what happens when a toy company like Mattel tries to make video games. So what did I learn from my little trip to the retro era? Well, for one, the jump systems between games varies dramatically, with weight, hang time and jump ranges having very little consistency. Mario's jump, however, did stand out as being quite superior, but I did now have a much better idea on how to approach my own jump. Oh, and if you like these kind of devlogs, and I'm sure you do, right? Because, you know, devlogs, then smash that subscribe button, you know, kick it and all that, because I've got plenty more like this coming up soon. When working on these critical systems, I like to isolate them into this kind of prototype style level. It allows me to focus on the system without being distracted by other gameplay elements. Here's the thing with the variable jump. If the player lets go of the button while the character is below the minimum jump height, then I need to keep pushing the player upwards until they reach that minimum range. Yeah, it's a tricky little bit of code to get right. I tell you what though, I'm feeling pretty damn focused. Nothing is going to deter me from reaching my goal. Yeah, that tomato does look like a duck. Huh. Alright, a bit more code massaging, but I think I've got it now. Flappy Vikings. That's it. Ship it. I'm done. Now it's time for some fresh air. When problem solving, it's always nice to change up the scenery. I knew I was close to a solution. the elusive secrets of the jump would be mine. I could feel it. Whoa, whoa. Holy trampoline. Whoa. Wow. As I hung there, suspended in mid-air, the enigmatic mysteries of the jump suddenly dawned on me. I knew what I had to do.
Oh, bad idea.
I kept being drawn back to the elegance of the Mario jump. It's a sophisticated system where small range jumps have a constant force, with higher jumps slowing down towards the peak, creating a smooth parabolic arc. It really is a beautiful jump. Using Mario as a guide, I got to work coding in the same gradual jump ease, slowing high jumps down as they neared the peak. Thank you Shigeru Miyamoto, thank you Nintendo, and thank you Mario. The other thing that occurred to me was that my jump sequence did not have a proper landing animation phase. I had an up and a down animation, and was fudging the land with a coded dynamic bulge effect. I needed a proper landing animation to help sell the feeling of inertia. I immediately got to work on a new animation. Oh, and if you're wondering, my animation tool here is Adobe Animate. It's something I'm familiar with from the old Flash game days, and it gives me good keyframe control. It's pretty good. So I've set the keyframes a little bit to make the landing feel more dynamic, so that the helmet will lag slightly behind the head. Very nice. That's right, Olaf has no head under the helmet. What's that old saying? If they can't see it, it doesn't exist? Yeah. So after a bit more keyframing and tweening, I finally came up with a pretty reasonable landing animation. So I've now got the up state, the down state complete with the moustache movement and the landing. So I should probably do something about that bald head. Maybe I'll make it into like a coned head or something. After processing that animation, I brought it into Unity into my animator, and you can see here, these are all different animation states. I've even got all this animation is making me damn thirsty. No milk in my fridge, but I have beer for days. What's up, beer gang? Now that is a beverage. The new weight and range feels really good. It's a big improvement over the last version. That landing phase really worked out well, look at that. And when comparing it to the old version, you can see it's got a noticeably heavier weight, with the new configuration feeling much closer to the Mario system. So if you're ever in a situation where you suspect your jump might be a little bit floaty, just line it up with Mario and overlay it or something and you'll know your answer right there. I made sure the minimum jump height would allow the player to get over single unit objects and terrain, with near max jump height being required for taller platforms, much like how Super Mario Bros. Approached it. This should stop that problematic button spam. This feels so much better. I can't believe I thought that other jump was going to be okay. That jump nearly ruined my game, I tell you. So if you're in the business of making games and happen to be working on a 2D platformer, get the jump right. It's so important. You can't create a sufficiently enjoyable platforming experience without a good jump setup. You know what? I reckon it's time to test this in the real game. Ready for another round? Oh, of course you are. Oh, good job, good job. A little bit of context for you guys. Blood and Mead is a story about a drunken Viking on a crazy quest to save his homeland. It's got puzzles, shops, items, cool platforming, and thanks to this new jump approach, like really, really cool platforming. I mean, look at that. Wow. Oh, and plenty of blood. And, yeah, naked pig riding. There's actually a Steam page up where you can check it out and drop a wishlist. I'll put a link below. Now I've just got to finish building the damn thing. Alright, mission complete. Time to cross this off the list. That felt really good. Let's do it again. Wow. Even better the second time around. It's probably not a good idea.